Good Friday, y'all. This is Smoking Strategies here. Um, just kind of want to get into what's the purpose of this video, what's the purpose of this channel, what is my main point in starting this channel. So, at first, I was wanting to name it The Solitude, and that was because I hit a very hard point in my life, and I just wanted to get away to escape and to process things and to get away from all the noise for a minute, to think, to figure out my next move. And no matter where I went, whether at work, there was BS. Come home, there was BS. If I tried to leave and go somewhere, there was BS. I didn't really have a designated place to go to help clear my mind, to help process, to help figure out my next move, so on and so forth, right? So I wanted to start a foundation, a place to where people can just talk, uh, figure out their issues, not really as like a where a bunch of men or women get together and cry about their issues and cry about what they're going through. No, but just have good companionship, good time with God, and that's what this channel is supposed to be. Playing chess, talking about God, and strategies, right? Life is a lot like chess. I have learned and found out, and still learning. If you wake up every day and you don't plan life, life will plan it for you. If you wake up and your strategies suck, you're gonna lose, right? You're gonna get your butt handed to you. Um, I figured out life is like chess. It really is. There's different moves you can make. There's always a better move out there. Always a better decision out there. Doesn't matter what you're going through. There's always something better out there. And this ain't a channel that we're go on and poor pitiful me. It's not about that. I just really like playing chess, and I feel like instead of looking at a screen or a phone and playing chess with a bunch of random people online, well, that's good, but the problem with that is I have a busy life, and I know there's several people out there that have a busy life, and I don't really have time to sit there and stare at a screen. And if you're playing live, you can't just hit pause, right? Um, like I said on the first video, my grandpa said back in the day that they used to send letters and play chess, right? Take about a year to play one game of chess. And I'm just kind of wanting to get into that, bring a bunch of people together. And we got text messages, we have direct message, we have emails, right? Just want to play with some good people. And I'm not no chess professional. No way am I a chess professional. But I realized that if you look at chess as life or vice versa, I'm looking at chess at a completely different way. If you treat every piece as valuable as the others, you can come a long way, right? So I've always grown up to where your pawns are like your least valuable piece, and then people will argue. It'll be your bishop or your knights, right? My way of looking at it is you have your pawns, your bishops, your knights, your rooks, which is your castles, then your queen, right? People will say your queen is the most valuable piece, and in a way, yes, but the way I'm starting to look at it is your pawns are your most valuable pieces. Yes, your queens and your rooks and all of that stuff can do a lot more, have more special moves and stuff like that. But I look at it as like football. Um, if you have a good offensive line, your quarterbacks your wide receivers, your running backs, your tight ends get all the praise. If you have a bad offensive line, that's all you hear people talk about is how bad the offensive line is. But when you're doing good, the offensive line don't ever get praised, right? And that's kind of the same thing. Your most important pieces on the board to me is your pawns, because they're the ones that set up the wall. They're the ones that set up the blockage, and the strategies behind that wall makes the game pretty much. But use your pawns as an offense. Set up the wall. Set up what you need to do, and there's different strategies. I was actually working on a new opening yesterday, and the computer board handed it to me, basically. He moved all over me. Never open the same. Never open the same way. Doesn't matter who you're playing with, have different ways to open. I was talking to this one dude, he was saying the only pieces you can move right out of the gate is a pawn or a knight. Yes, that is correct, but it depends on how you play off of that first move. Determines your strategy skill. And never, never, never open the same. Never do that. Talk about God on here, and I'm not saying, read scriptures, and, I'm not a preacher. I'm not, I try to stay out of that mainly because there's just too much of it going on. There's way too much Bible scripture and reading, this is this way. That's not it. But I love talking about God. God is the most important thing to me in my life, especially when I hit that hard time in my life, right? I needed a place to go and somebody to talk to that was going through my situation, or somebody that went through my situation, and I couldn't really find that person. And some of the people I talked to, their number one saying was, go to God, take it to God, go to God. In a way, that's good advice, but I feel like that's what people say when they don't know what to say, right? And as much as the advice pissed me off, basically, because it's not what I was wanting to be told, that's not what I wanted to hear, it was good advice, go to God. And the thing that I struggled with was angels over here, demons over here, but I can't tell which ones is angels and which ones is demons, right? And that what comes down to the solitude part of it, was I didn't have a spot, a place to go to figure out which ones are the angels and which ones are the demons. I tried doing counseling, but me and therapy, we just don't get along at all. I have my own thoughts on it. I feel like, don't tell me you care as long as I'm paying you, right? I don't like that. And that's where I just kind of just like, you know what? I'm going by myself. I'm isolating myself. I'm doing my own thing. And I'm taking God with me. And in the Bible, people always talk about, Peter and John the Baptist and Moses and Noah and all of this stuff. And those are wonderful people. But the person that I have that has always gained my interest is Enoch. Enoch has always, I wouldn't say been my role model, but it's like, if I want to be like a human being, if a human being is my role model, I want that to be Enoch, because unlike everybody else, Enoch walked with God. It says that in the Bible. It says that in the book of Enoch. Enoch walked with God. And I want to walk with him. I'm tired of people saying that, oh, I follow God. I follow Jesus. No, I want to walk with God, right? And that's always been who I wanted to be like. Yes, I want to be like Jesus, whatever, but Jesus was a God. You know, he was half human, half God. But I'm saying if I want to be like a human, I want to be like Enoch. Put down my sinful ways and walk with God. But in order to have that, you got to have strategies. I'm writing a book. It's called Proverbs of a Sinful Man. Whether if it gets famous or published, I'm not here to try to get famous. I'm just here to help, because when I needed help, there was nobody out there to really help besides God. And I've always been told what you struggle with is what you're put on this earth to do, to change, right? So if you're put on this earth say if you have real problem of depression, right? But then every time you go somewhere and you're putting a smile on people's faces, you're making people laugh, right? If you are a positive person and you bring people up and you constantly caring about other people, but then when you get into your own time and you feel like you're just not good enough, you feel like you're not worthwhile, but yet all these people care about you, but you're all up in your own feelings, right? And that's kind of where I'm at. You know, I struggled real bad with sexual desires and lust and stuff like that. But now I'm changing my mindset and I'm realizing a lot of that stuff is completely overrated, completely overused. Reading the Bible and studying the Bible, almost every single strong man has fallen from lust. Every strong man has fallen from lust. And when you look at it like that, that tells you how much power, how much strength that has, right? And I kind of want to just help change that. There's talks and videos all day long about YouTube on how to overcome that type of situation and stuff. And I don't want to get lost in all of that mist. Strategies, right? And the smoke comes from, I like smoking cigars. A good friend got me into cigars, and it's kind of one of those things where it's just like, I wish I would have known this a long time ago. I wish I would have got into it a long time ago, because I used to be real bad into energy drinks. I used to make fun of crackheads, right? Because I never got it. Why would you want to, and immature thoughts, why would you want to fill your body up with poison to make yourself feel better? Why would you want to become a zombie to make yourself feel better? But I was kind of doing the same thing with energy drinks, right? When I got frustrated or anxiety was going out the roof or so on and so forth, crack up an energy drink, right? I never drank energy drinks to have energy. I used it as an scapegoat, and essentially that was what drug addicts did, right? So I'm laughing and making fun of people when I'm doing the exact same thing, right? And I've been drunk. I think a lot of people have been drunk. And drunkenness just kind of makes you just have an F it attitude, right? I've never really been high, so I can't really speak on the highness part of it. But smoking cigars, it's kind of more of a mellow thing. It's just kind of more of a kick back and chill, and everything's gonna be all right, you know. The other day, because I am a firearms smith, and this one I was working on, and I just couldn't. I knew what the issue was, but I couldn't fix the issue, and it was driving me crazy, right? And when I get real stressed and anxiety, I start clenching my jaws. And I just get back, smoke a cigar, and man, within 10 minutes, I was good, and I figured out how to fix it. So I've kind of leaned on cigars. Cigars have kind of helped change my life a little bit. Uh, Smoking strategies, y'all. Kind of interested to see where it goes. I'm not here to get paid. I'm not here to, I just kind of want to help change the algorithm a little bit. Change from people sitting there playing chess on their phone. Let's play actually one-on-one type stuff. I think it's going to be fun. If you're interested in that, you can direct message me on YouTube. My daughter showed me how to do that. You could email me at Texans, TEXANS187 at yahoo.com. And we could exchange numbers if you want. Whatever, I ain't just gonna put my number out and have a bunch of spam calling. I have enough of that already, right? I think all of us do. We have enough spam calling as it is already. So I'm not gonna put my number out there for a bunch of random people to call, text, blow up my phone, whatever. My phone rings enough through spam calls, through customers, because I do have a full-time job and I have my own business going. So I kind of stay fairly busy, so I don't have time to just sit there at a computer screen, phone screen, whatever, and play chess. I also have kids I gotta take care of and stuff like that. So if any of this interests you, man, hit me up. I'm gonna try to make a video once a week. The days, I don't really know. I may make more videos once a week. I don't know. Every Sunday, me and a good friend will get together every Sunday, have Bible talk, Bible study, play a game of chess, smoke a good cigar. I would like to smoke a cigar today, but it's hot. Me and the heat don't get along. That's why I ain't smoking one right now. And I ain't smoking one inside because as much as I like smoking cigars, I don't like living in cigar smoke or staying or working in cigar smoke, right? I like taking that outside, polluting the air a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of the purpose of this video, or this channel. I'm interested to see kind of where it goes and try to help be there for people, because when I was going through it, I had nobody and it sucked. It really did suck. And I want to be a listening ear. I don't want to sit here and give advice or anything like that. Now when it comes to chess or just life strategies in general, cool, I'm game. But I didn't go to school. I'm more of a learner, right? I gotta go through it to learn it. Don't sit here and tell me you know what I'm going through and you've never been through it, right? And I'm not here to judge. I've done so much stuff in my life. I have no reason or want to judge. There's some stuff I've done in my life to where it's just like, why the hell am I still here, right? One of a good friend of mine, he told me, he says, man, that he's proud of me, especially when I was going through a hard time. He said, man, you ought to be proud of yourself because of all the stuff you're going through and have went through, and you haven't touched a single drug in your life. That says something, right? So just like, subscribe, hit me up, and we'll see where this goes. Thank y'all.